Hello and welcome. This is a battle report for Fallout Wasteland Warfare. Today's battle is the Following in the Footsteps scenario from the Astoundingly Awesome Tales expansion. Here we are along the shores of a dried up riverbed. In the center is a broken down set of Brotherhood power armor. A patrol went offline here, and it's up to the Brotherhood forces to find out what happened. There are 8 searchables on the field, within green distance of the center, and further than orange distance from each other. 3 of the searchables are A, B, and C, which are clues to what happened to the rest of the Brotherhood squad. The objective here is to reveal those 3 searchables. Other ones will give items or even dangers. The Brotherhood forces are led by Veronica, who is sporting her usual power fist. Knight Captain Cade and a Knight Tech in T-45 power armor are along as well, both equipped with plasma rifles and rippers. The Brotherhood needed a little local help finding this place, so Cass is along to show them the way. She's got a caravan shotgun and a nail board. It turns out that this section of dried up riverbed is still inhabited by Mirelurks. There are 2 regular lurks and 1 Mirelurk hunter. The Mirelurks set up randomly along the north and east board edges. The Brotherhood forces have to set up within red distance of the southwest corner. With everything set up, we're ready to go. The Brotherhood stomps forward first, with the Knight Tech leading the charge to grab a quick search and pull aggro for the rest of the team. A rogue Eyebot pops up from the muck, but the Knight Tech is able to duck into its blind spot. They pull out a flare gun from where the bot had been hiding. Maybe the lost patrol tried to send up a signal? Did anyone see it? With their second action, the Knight Tech takes an extremely long-range shot at the Mirelurk hunter. It connects, but the plasma bolt splashes harmlessly off the hunter's thick carapace. Unhappy about being shot at, the hunter starts to push up. The Knight Tech had gotten to prepare off their previous shot, so they take a reaction shot in response to that move. This time, they hit for 3 damage. The hunter blocks 1 with regular armor and 1 with strong armor, but 1 damage does go through. The pools of water don't count as difficult terrain for the Mirelurks. That's not a standard rule, just something I decided on for this scenario. But going up and down the docks do. However, even with a reduced charge range, the hunter is still able to get into contact with the knight. Veronica is up next. She advances and finds some mole rat meat. It's useful, but not exactly what we're looking for right now. That unfortunately puts her within charging distance of the yellow Mirelurk. However, it's out of action, so we'll have to wait until next turn before attacking. Cade is up next. He loops around the debris and uncovers our first clue. For his second action, he takes a shot at the hunter. The regular armor doesn't stop any damage, but the strong armor still kicks in, so even with that good hit, the hunter only takes 1 damage. The red Mirelurk scuttles forward and charges the Knight Tech as well. They're doing their job just as intended. Keeping her eyes on the prize, Cass loops around the side of the melee, going for some of the searchables in the rear. At the start of turn 2, a mole rat pops up in the center of the field. Apparently that busted power armor made for a cozy warren. With fewer models, the Mirelurks get advantage to start the turn. The hunter puts them some big damage on the Knight Tech, breaking their power armor in a single crunch. The follow-up, though, is thankfully a miss. Cade charges the yellow Mirelurk to help out Veronica. His ripper hit lands, but even with a broken down 1+1 armor, the 1 on the armor die means that both damage gets blocked. Cade then utilizes the slide move to get on the other side of the Mirelurk. He can't search the searchable while engaged, but if it drops, he can grab it without having to spend a move action next turn. The yellow lurk is up and throws a bunch of dice and hits. The damage is all blocked by armor though. Clearly, Veronica was able to deflect the pinchy claw with her power fist. Since the attack hit, but didn't do damage, it triggers Veronica's scribe counter ability and gives her a free attack. She hits, and even gets a point of damage through. Punching is great. The Mirelurk's second attack does connect, and does get 2 points of damage through on Veronica. Cass is able to scoot around the edge of the pond and up onto the docks to reveal our second clue. Hoping for an easy win, she checks out another searchable, but it's blank. For this scenario, that actually means that you roll a blue die and gain an item based on the result. For a single Nuka bottle, that nets her a Brotherhood of Steel hood. The red Mirelurk goes next, and its first hit is also a doozy. 3 damage gets through, and the Night Tech only has their strong armor token from setup left to negate any of it. The second hit also gets through 2 more damage. The Night Tech is hanging on by a thread now, but at least they've been doing their job of pulling hits away from the squishier members of the team. Determined not to go down without fighting back, the Night Tech takes a swing with the Ripper and misses hard. I guess the broken actuators on their armor are making things trickier. The second hit does connect, and even gets a point of damage through on the Hunter. Only 8 left to go. Veronica's Power Fist attack is set up for some great damage, but she needs a 6 to hit, and only gets a 7, unfortunately. Her second swing connects, but with 2+1 armor and a 2 rolled on the armor die, all 3 damage gets negated. These things have really tough shells. At the end of turn 2, the Brotherhood has cleared most of the searchables. However, the Night Tech is about to drop, and they've been having a tough time getting any damage through. To start off turn 3, a Deathclaw roar is heard. That would be the last thing we need to show up. Since they still have fewer models, the Mirelurks retain the advantage and the Hunter goes first. Its first swing knocks out the Night Tech. Then it wheels around and spits some acid at Cass. 5 armor break definitely breaks all of her armor, but it only does 2 damage. Thinking that 8 HP is going to be difficult to chew through on the Hunter, Cass opts for the slightly easier to kill target with a red Mirelurk, though she's not going to get much done if her shotgun keeps misfiring like that. The second shot connects, and gives her a reaction token. However, 2 damage gets blocked, so only 1 goes through. The yellow Mirelurk is up next. It tries to pinch Veronica, but fortunately the 3 damage, 2 armor break roll is a complete whiff. Its second attack hits, but only does 1 damage, which is blocked by Veronica's armor. Since an attack against Veronica hit but did no damage, that triggers her Scribe Counter ability. Unfortunately, she misses as well. For the first attack of her turn, she gets in a good hit and puts 2 more damage on the Mirelurk. It's down to half health now. The second attack also hits for 3 damage. However, that 2+1 armor keeps getting the work in and blocks it all. The red Mirelurk charges Cass. She uses her reaction to take a swat, but unfortunately, since that's a quick action, a 4 fails to connect. The Mirelurk's charged up attack hits, but gets blocked by armor. I'm not sure where the armor die was when I took this photo. Whoops. To start off Cade's activation, he uses his Field Medic ability to heal 1 point of damage off of Veronica. He then walks away from combat, and looks to see if we can close the deal on the objective. He finds a laser pistol, which is handy, but not what we're looking for. Rounding out turn 3, we have 2 little scuffles to see how things are going to go. Veronica and the yellow Mirelurk are tussling near one of the 2 remaining searchables. Cass is hanging on for dear life as the Mirelurk and Hunter combo, who just downed a knight in power armor, have turned their attention directly to her. At the start of turn 4, the Mole Rat comes back. For some reason, the event deck for the scenario only had 2 cards in it, so I just loop back around. With an even number of models on both sides, the Brotherhood gets to take the advantage this turn. Cade starts off and uses the Battle Medic ability again to heal Veronica back up to full health. Then he rushes over and checks the penultimate searchable. It disturbs a glowing bloatfly from where it was resting. Cade is able to avoid getting attacked, but even proximity to the bug nets him a point of radiation damage. With 1 action left and not enough movement to make it over to the final searchable, Cade takes a shot with a laser pistol at the yellow Mirelurk. He hits, and hits the right target instead of Veronica, and breaks all the Lurk's armor. Good times. The red Mirelurk activates and gets a good hit in on Cass. 2 damage and 2 armor break means that she gets those 2 damage with nothing to block them. The second claw is also good, and she goes down. Realizing that with her team dwindling and only 1 searchable left to go, Veronica pulls back from the melee with a Mirelurk. It tries to swing, but misses because of the quick attack penalty. Veronica then reveals the final clue and cinches the win. It's a good thing that the Brotherhood didn't need to make any kills to win this objective, because they were way behind on the damage race. However, they hit all of the searchables and came away with a win, which is really what matters in the end. Hopefully this was a nice battle report to follow, because it was fun to play out. Overall, the Astoundingly Awesome Tales scenarios seem to be a good set, especially since they work with smaller force lists. Most clock in at around 350 caps. This means that if you're playing against the AI, it's not so difficult to keep all the different units and their abilities in mind. With larger battles and so many rules having to manage, both sides can get tricky, so these more contained scenarios are really welcome. That's it for now. Stay safe out there in the wasteland.